Buddy, today we are going to go over my 5v5 defensive video. Come check it out. Let's get started. All right, guys, we are in the game. So, my 5v5 defensive video, I have lots of teams to show you. We have about 19 teams. Doesn't matter if you're in Kyber 1 all the way down to, what is it, Carbonite 5. There's some teams in here you can use. All right, first off, we're going to use Ray, Ben, Cal, Sorty, and Jedi Training Ray. Now, we can use Cal here. I'm not going to use Cal this season for Seer Malicos. We'll probably use Seer Malicos, Starkiller, Peru, and Fulcrum for our offense. So I'll probably use Kyle with Ray here. You can also put Ezra in this lineup as well, but Ezra is on down the list. But this is the lineup here. I would like to put Sorty in the 4th spot, so whoever's in the weakest will get the VIP. Okay? It only works if she's in the 4th spot. SLKR. Now, a lot of you do have the SLKR datacron. I'm going to use Frost instead of Crew. I used it in 3v3 the last 2 weeks. Got me a lot of holds. I was talking to Tassanex Gaming. Everybody knows Tassanex. He gave me some insight on he uses Frost. Frost attacks back and gives defense for SLKR. So, I'm going to use this. My plan is to RA Sith Trooper and RA Frost and go from there. So that's what I'm going to use. Now, some people, you can use Crew, but I want Crew with my Seer Malicos. That's how I always like it in 5v5. Now, Jabba. This is going to depend on the Africron. If you do not have the Africron, let's rephrase that. If they have the Africron, do not put Jabba on defense. I think we got 1 more month for Africron. So, if they do have it, don't put it on there. If they don't have it, then you can put Jabba back on defense. It's just going to depend on what your opponent has. Okay? Next, we have GL Ahsoka, Ezra with the lineup here. Now, most people might use Ezra with Ray. That's fine and dandy. Ezra can go to multiple places. But if you do take Ezra out of this lineup, GL Ahsoka can be counted for a lot of things right now. So, Great Mothers, Queen Amidala. There's just so much. Watt, Armor, Shorty. There's a lot of things. Armor, Thrawn. There's so much you can be countered with if you take it out of this lineup. Okay? So, right there. All right, Gungans. Can be defense or offense. Depends on what the cron you have. If you have the good cron and you can stun them, the stun or the 400%, what is that? 400% offense. If you can get either of those, it can be good on defense or offense. Now, I like to see them on offense, but if you're taking a lot of offensive heavy teams, it could be a good defensive team. Banner stealing, who knows? There we go. Either way. All right, so the greatest question is Saul on defense or offense? My personal preference is my Saul doesn't get a lot of holds. I have the right datacron. It just doesn't get a lot of holds. Because people know how to counter where I am. I'm in Kyber 2. If you're not in Kyber 2, this can take out Queen Amidala. That's the most use for it. There's probably more other things for it, but most people use it for Queen Amidala. So, if you have enough on defense, take Saul for offense. Or you can use, there's different lineups. You can use Saul. We was talking about Captain Rex, Luthen, Cara Dune, and Biggs. And then you can have Mon Mothma, Kyle, and the rest of the lineup for offense. So you can have 2 Rebel fighter teams. It just depends how you want to do it. But if you want to put this on defense, this is a scary team. Like, I always overkill it. So if somebody does put this on defense, I try to overkill it because I have lost against it. So, all right. So Queen Amidala. Now, Queen is very dependent on the cron. If you have the level 12 support cron, it goes on. You use this for offense. It kills about all the GLs. If you don't have a cron, you put it on defense. Real simple. That's what we do. As you guys seen, I put out some videos already what it kills, and it's really amazing. Now, if you don't want to use Echo here, want to save your bad batch, you can use Yoda. We was talking about that in chat as well. You can use Yoda there and go from there. But I always like Echo there. Now, new bad batch, because it's going to be Zeta Omicron dependent. It is a newer team. It will eat banners. If you think you can just go 56 or 50, well, it'll be like 65, 67 now. If you think you can just go in there and it will eat banners. I think Gas is a good one to beat it, but other than that, it's going to take a decent team to beat that. Now, I call this next team Backwall Sneaky Little Bitches. Now, if you have the Omicron on Jocasta Nu and Temple Guard, you will, like, you put this on the back wall, and you put a hefty front wall. I feel like people try to overshoot it or to be like, oh, I can beat that. If you have the good cron plus the Temple Guard Omicron and Jocasta Omicron, it's going to be, they're going to have to use a good team. You cannot just take that in there and, you can't take nothing easy in there. Okay? Now, if you take Saul for offense, I think Treya on defense. Now, if Saul's on defense, Treya for offense. So you have something for Queen Amidala. Now, this is a good defensive team as well. Why is it a good defense? It takes a GL to beat it. You can try to gas it, but it doesn't very go well. You have the Talon Cron here. It's hard to beat. It ain't easy. Okay? So this is a good team. Like, I put it on the back wall. People ain't expecting it. Now, Lord Vader. Lord Vader is going to depend on, I stuttered right there, is going to depend on if you have the Dark Side clones. If you don't have the Dark Side clones, Lord Vader might go for offense. It just depends. Because, you can still Fennec, Bounty Hunters, blah, blah, blah. But, if you do have the Dark Side clones, I don't have them on this all the way out on my account. If you do have them, then you put this on defense. If you don't, this is going to have to go on offense. Lord Vader, Maul, World Guard, etc. Okay? Now, if you do have this team, that means you use Maul, Free Agent Maul, okay? So you can use this on defense or offense. Maul with the Mandalorians with a good ISC cron or the Maul cron. You can use this, okay? Now, Trench off the bench here. Trench, Dooku, Jango, Newt, and Watt. Now, if you have a good Dooku cron, use that. I like to put this on the back wall, and people use all their good teams, and then they're trying to figure out what they can use on Trench. And then it's a real struggle. It might get you a couple holds, maybe a hold, if you're lucky. Now, I threw some teams in here that I don't see a lot in Kyber, but you might see where you're at. Okay? We have Dash, Vandor Chewbacca, IG-11, Quill, and L3. Now, you can use Hondo or Nest instead of IG and Quill as well. So, either way, as long as you have the Omicron on Dash, you'll be fine. Because then they'll be stuck on the taunt, and then they have to work their way around it. Okay? Especially if you have the Omicron on Hondo as well. GG Cron. So we have GG with Stab with the GG Cron. Takes a good team to beat it. It's not easy. And once Stab gets going, gets that turn meter running, it's not easy to beat. All right, now we have Balin. We have Shin, Merrick, and then you can use Hondo here, and you can use, I'm throwing Zalabar. You can use Jango as well if you're using Jango on the Trench team. Put Zalabar here for another tank, another option there. Hondo here does really well. Hondo and Django do really well underneath Balin. Another option is, I didn't think about this, Book of Boba Fett. I call him Book of Boba Fett. Boba Fett, Dad Boba Fett, like people like to call him. If you don't have the cron on him, you can put him under this lead. He does very well. I forgot about him. Says Zalabar, you can put Boba under this lead. Does very well under Balin. Now, Finn, Zori, Rose Tico. They have been told you don't have to have the Rose Tico cron to make this work. It does help. And the level 3 Jawa cron makes it really good. So the level 3 Jawa cron gives you 20% turn meter for each ally, each light side ally. So that would be huge. Remember when we had a turn meter crons? This team was tough to beat. You got to take Sith Empire to beat it. So this would be a really good team to put on defense if you have the level 3 Jawa cron. All right, now I did put Qui-Gon down. It can be offense or defense. I'm not going to use snips this season. You guys watch my SLKR video, what I'm going to use with JMK to be SLKR this season with Barris. I'm not going to use this for D. I'm not going to use snips. But we're going to use Qui-Gon, Cam, Anakin, Mace, and Snips. Snips does not really have a home there, so why not put her there? Okay. And then Great Mother's going to be defense or offense. This will be the last team I put on here. I want to save enough for offense. But Great Mother's is good on offense as well, really good. But if you want to drive somebody up the wall, this is a good defensive team as well. If you have the Omicron on Morgan Elswith and Night Trooper there, this team would be really good. It's good defense or offense. Right now on offense, it'll take out GL Ahsoka. But, guys, that is my 5v5 defensive video. Make sure you guys check that out. Like I said, our 5v5 offense video will be coming out soon. Make sure you guys check that out as well. And we'll see you guys on the holo tables. Have a great day.